Hey everyone, my name is Seth Yelorda, and I'm so glad that you decided to just tune in for a few minutes. I'm a speaker, coach, and consultant. I work with organizations and individuals, helping them to achieve phenomenal, extraordinary results, and I'm so grateful that you joined me today. Now, in today's session, I just want to talk a little bit about the story we tell ourselves. You see, as leaders, you are under a extreme amount of pressure to perform organizationally. You're trying to move your team forward. You're trying to hit OKRs, KPIs, and really drive the results of your organization, whether it's through managing your low performers, inspiring your high performers, keeping people going in the direction they need to go in, making sure your customers are satisfied, your shareholder value is increasing, and just keeping your organization running. But at the same time, as individuals, you also have personal goals you're going for. You have families you're trying to manage, kids that are probably in summer camps and soccer and gymnastics that you're trying to follow them, or maybe they're starting to drive. You're trying to make sure that they don't kill anyone by driving on the sidewalk, or maybe you have aging parents and you're trying to take care of your parents and honor them and help them to keep their dignity as they age in life. As individuals and as leaders, we're trying to manage a lot. We get stuck in between organizational pressure and individual personal pressure. And our ability to successfully manage both and thrive at both, to a large degree, has everything to do with the story we tell ourselves. You see, your story is the internal narrative that you tell yourself about who you are, what you're capable of, and how the world works. These stories shape your identity, they drive your emotions, they influence your decisions, and they ultimately determine your results. Now, what's interesting is that they're not always based on truth. Your story is based on interpretation. But here's the good news: if your story was shaped, it can also be reshaped. And so I want to just walk you through 3 points as it relates to your story. Your story is like an umbrella that you're always holding 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That umbrella that you're under, it informs and shapes everything around you. And I want to make sure that you're holding the right umbrella that is serving you. So when it comes to your story, I want you to understand, don't just accept any old story, but audit every story. You see, we all carry stories, many of which we've never paused to examine. Some come from childhood, others come from failed projects, poor managers, or offhand comments that we never forgot. When I was a kid in middle school, I was bullied as a kid, and I was told a story about myself, around my body, my image. And for many years, I carried that story with me. And what I've learned is that, you know what? If I don't stop and audit this story, then this story will crush me. It will prevent me from operating at my highest self. You see, these stories often operate in the background of our mind, driving our behavior like a silent script. For me, the story really was one that made me uncomfortable to show up in certain places. And I had to ask myself not whether or not the story was true, but I had to ask myself, is this story serving me? And if the story is no longer serving you, then we might have to let this story go. So I'm not so much concerned around, is the story true or false? Is the story helping me? Is the story shaping me and helping me to grow? Is this story helping serve my highest self? Some examples of professional stories that we often carry are, I'm not a good leader, or I freeze up in meetings, or I'm not ready for that promotion, or maybe I don't belong in this room. And I understand it. And a lot of those stories we've inherited from previous situations that we encountered that have now shaped this story. But let's just audit those stories. It's not so much I'm not a good leader. Maybe the empowering reframe is I'm learning how to lead more effectively every day. Rather than embracing an old story that says I'm not a good leader, let's reframe and embrace an empowering story that says I'm learning how to lead every day. Everyone, I just want to take a minute and invite you to join the Accelerate Clarity coaching cohort. This is a coaching cohort designed for individuals who are serious about crushing their goals, and they recognize they need to be a part of a community that will hold them accountable and that will support them as they accelerate towards their future self. If that's you, I want you to go to visionclarityconsulting.com/accelerate. You get all the information there. We meet twice a week. We have hot seats. We have quarterly masterminds. This is designed for individuals who want to take serious the call on their life. And so if that's you, jump over to that website. I'll put the link below. You can learn all about it. This is a 12-month process. It's a 12-month coaching cohort where we are going to make sure that you reach your goals, whatever your goals would be: financial, fitness, your faith, spiritual goals, professional goals, personal goals, whatever your goals will be. These are for individuals who say, you know what? I need community. I need support. I want to make sure I'm not doing this thing alone. I want you to check out visionclarityconsulting.com/accelerate. I'll see you there. Rather than a story that says, I'm not ready for promotion, an empowering story says, I'm developing the mindset and the skills to lead at the next level. You see, you are in control of your story. While you can't control anything else outside of you, you can control the story you tell yourself. And so when you wake up on Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, I want you to evaluate, what story am I starting this day with? And this is the truth I want you to understand. You can't become who you are meant to be by holding on to a story that was written in fear and failure. And that really leads to the second point I want you to understand, is that we have to tell stories from the future, not from fear. Too often we narrate our story based off of where we are, not where we're going. So we describe life from our limitations instead of our longings. But you're not just a reflection of your present. You are the author of your future. And so let's make a shift in our mind to start using language that reflects the vision, not your fear. Speak in a way that aligns your future self, not your current doubt. You are a storyteller. And I want to ensure the story you're telling yourself is rooted in future possibilities and future capabilities and not past fear and doubt. So instead of saying, I don't know what I'm doing, let's try, I'm building capacity through every challenge. Rather than saying, this is overwhelming, let's say, this is a stretch experience that is making me stronger. Rather than saying, I'm falling behind, let's say, I'm on the right path and my growth is unfolding at the right pace. When you tell yourself a story from your future anchored in identity, not insecurity, you begin to lead your life with intention, not reaction. The third and last piece I want you to get is make your story about progress, not perfection. One of the fastest ways to fall into discouragement is by telling yourself a story that only celebrates perfect outcomes. There are rarely perfect outcomes. And if your internal narrative only values wins, then learning and effort and growth will always feel like failure. So here's what I want you to get. Growth isn't linear. Leadership is messy. Confidence takes time. And the story you tell yourself must make space for it all. So reframe your inner dialogue. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm further than I was last week. This mistake isn't the end, it's part of the process. Every rep, every challenge, every step forward matters. This is how you build a resilient story, a narrative that holds the space for becoming, not just arriving. So as you head into this week, I want you to really think about your story that you're telling yourself and really identify and really audit that story to ensure that you are telling yourself a story that is serving your highest self, so that as you're navigating organizational pressure and personal pressure, you have the right story to elevate you, to let you know, I am capable, I am able, I am brilliant, I can do all these things. So just know that it's not always around a new identity. It's really just around a new narrative. It's not about a new job, new coworkers. It's really just around a new story. It's not around a new family or new goals. It's just around a new story. What story do I need to tell myself this week so that I can accomplish the goals I've set for myself this week? Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.